Hi guys, Rudy here. I want to talk about Season 19 and the season theme and how it changed the game. Because I believe that it's very sad that the Season 19 theme is gone. Everyone is probably agreeing that it was pretty OP. And, the way you could use the different procs at especially 150 and at 400 and 500 to, clear several elite packs or kill a Rift Guardian. It was very strong, of course. But it changed the game in a pretty significant way, and I think this is something that also Blizzard should be aware of for the future. And the thing is that while I was pushing, this is my tier 150 clear here, you might have seen it, I was able to go higher and higher much more easily than in other seasons, because the season theme was doing a lot of the work. And you could argue it was doing too much, and I actually agree. But I think what it really showed us is that pushing can be extremely fun when you can play a lot more maps and when you can actually try a lot more rifts. So the way it usually goes is when you fish for a rank 1 rift, usually on lower tiers it doesn't matter, but when you're going for the highest tier at the rank 1 or maybe top 3 or something, you do have to go for a really good rift. You need a Festering Boots, you need a Battlefields of Eternity. And your best case, you get 2 of those littles in a row, you get a conduit somewhere, and then you get a good Rift Guardian that you can actually kill, and so on. So there's a lot of RNG involved, on top of, the gearing, the paragons, your skill, and to some, for some builds, this RNG requirement is actually even higher, depending on what kind of build you're playing, and, how much you're willing to gamble. So what happened in Season 19 is that you actually had a chance in basically almost every single rift you were playing. So you could open a Keep That's with a shitty monster type and, try to make your way through. And, through the season theme doing so much of the work for you, you were able to actually progress and, kill elite packs, even the shitty maps on the high tiers. And I think this is something that is really great. And this is something that's missing from pushing in Diablo in general. And it will I'll really miss it for the future as well. So the big problem really on bad maps and bad monster types is it's not just the progression that certain monster types give more than others and so on, and of course certain builds work very well against certain monster types, because you might be very AoE focused, other builds might be very single targets focused and so on. The big issue are the elites. And on a Keep That's, you cannot kill elites. This is something that most people might not understand when they're just speed farming tier 100s, because you one shot everything. But when you go to a solo, an actual pushing situation, you will see that elites live a very long time. And this is because they have so much more HP than the trash. And you do need the trash to kill elites because of area damage for most builds. So almost every build relies on area damage. And to kill elites, you need a lot of trash. And this is the main reason why Festering Woods and Battlefields, and also Silverspire to some degree, are the really good maps. It's not just that they're open and there's more space, but it's that you can, kite elites, and add more trash to kill them. And Season 19 really showed that the game can be, so much more fun when you have a chance of fighting elites and killing them. Because usually what you do is when you open a good map, get a Festering Woods, you get 60% progress, go to floor 2, it's a sewer, and you have to skip every single elite you will encounter in this map, because there's no way you're ever gonna kill them. And that is the main point I want to make here. So I think that Blizzard should take a look at this in the future, not just with seasonal themes, but also more in general. We need more access to elite killing tools, basically. We need elite damage, maybe. We need, maybe a new legendary gem. They could just decrease the HP of elites compared to trash. In fact, they could also, if they want to make us run lower tiers, that will also help solve the problem, because when you run lower tiers, obviously, the HP of everything scales down in the same way, but it's more pronounced for the elites and the Rift Guardian. So, because we run these high tiers, the trash dies at some point when the elites have half of their life left, and then you cannot deal the rest of the damage to the elites anymore. So if this half life left is lower value, then there will be fewer cases where you have to skip elites. So they could do something like this by, increasing the progress we need to make, for example, instead of just plain nerfing everyone. If you have to do, like twice the amount of progression to actually spawn a Rift Guardian, then obviously we will go lower tiers and the elites will die faster, the Rift Guardians will die faster. And, this will also be part of the solution here. This is just, some kind of like random ideas that I had in my head. And I believe that this is something for the future that the devs could be, made aware of and, perhaps change a little bit. I don't want to like insta one-shot all the elites, of course, but the problem is that the difference between, the trash and the elites is too big. So this is where we're at, and this is also like why conduits are so strong and why we have so much trouble killing Rift Guardians. No one really likes killing Rift Guardians, and we have most builds that need like 4, 5, 6 minutes. It's like I don't know, 1/3 to half of your Rift time you spend on Rift Guardian on some builds when you push a really high tier, simply because you can always fish for like a really good Rift. And then you fight the Rift Guardian, and it just takes forever because there's no area dimension. You have to stack Stricken forever, and eventually you're gonna kill him. And yeah, I think we've fought enough Rift Guardians by now that no one is gonna miss these long Rift Guardian fights, I assume. So yeah, I really hope that this is something that might be changed in the future. And yeah, it's just some points I want to talk about basically. Of course, this is like all talking from like a pretty high-end perspective, because most casual people, they will probably not really push at all, so they will not really run into this problem of elites being way too tough to die. But for everyone who is actually going for some kind of like leaderboard clear, and this is still a significant amount of people, you will know this, you will know what I'm talking about. Elites and Rift Guardians, they just they live too long. I don't want to make the game too easy. There's other ways to increase the difficulty in case that might be an issue. But I think it would be better to have more chances when you push to not rely on the right rift so much, but rather play through the rift and then make sure you don't do any mistakes. And of course you still need the right RNG throughout the run, so there might be certain elite affixes that are really bad for your build that can screw you over, or you might just get like a really bad chain of certain elite monster combos or whatever. And obviously you might be missing the conduit. There's many things that make or break a run when you go for the highest tiers, and this is fine. It's fine to play through the rifts, but I think it's not fine that we can basically only do 2 maps. And they could nerf festering woods and battlefields, but then we would be in a situation where you're literally never gonna kill any elites unless you get a conduit. So yeah, this is basically exactly the wrong way to do it, I think. And you can't really buff most maps because they're simply too narrow. Of course you could increase density and so on, but I think the real issue really is that elites don't die. And it's very fun, to fight these elites. I really enjoy pushing in Diablo. I enjoy doing these, 50-minute runs where, everything has to go well, where it's really like me against the world, basically. And, you have to make sure that you don't lose the elites. You fight them for like 5 minutes and eventually they die. I really enjoy that, actually. The problem is just that we can only do it too little, and, there's not enough opportunities to actually try maps. Because it's like more than 50 maps or so where you just open close the rift. So between every run, like between every attempt, we have like 2 to 10 minutes downtime basically. And yeah, this is it's not really something that that makes me push less, I would say. But I totally see that a lot of people are fed up with fishing for rifts very easily. And I would also enjoy the game more, just like I did in season 19 when I opened the map and like almost every time I could play it if I wanted, even if the first law was really bad, I didn't need to waste the key. And sometimes I was like, okay, screw it, let's just play this, because I kept opening like 10 maps and didn't get anything, so I just went in there, and some of my best attempts actually happened from these runs. But unfortunately, this was only possible during season 19 because, you could fight elites in any map, you could kill elites in any map, and you always had, the chance to kill the Rift Guardian in a fast time as well. Because, when you have a build that needs 6 minutes for Rift Guardian, you know by the 5-minute mark if you'll make it or not, because otherwise, like if you don't spawn the Rift Guardian in the next like few minutes, you're never gonna have a chance, right? So in season 19, it stayed exciting until the very last second almost, right? Because you could spawn the Rift Guardian with like 10 seconds left, and then you could spawn the geysers or the angels, and they would kill the Rift Guardian. Of course, some mechanic like an insta kill mechanic is not going to come back, I assume, but it was definitely much more exciting because the time spent on Rift Guardian was theoretically much shorter. So there was always the possibility that everything could go super well and you'd clear the Rift. And yeah, it's quite sad that this is gone now. And there's just some points I wanted to make with this, basically. Yeah, hope you enjoyed my thoughts, and let me know what you think. Yeah, maybe Blizzard can do something, or will do something about it. We'll see. It's just some thoughts I want to get at. Yeah, hope you liked it. I'll see you guys next time.